Welcome back to another D-Dub E3 conference. It's over. It's over. E3 is over. Nintendo won it. They brought the goods. They dropped the bombs. They made the explosions. They pulled the curtain. They pulled the rug. They pulled the chair right out from under me. That was the best direct of all time. I don't know what you guys think, but for me personally, you can't even be a Nintendo fan if you didn't like this direct. And I just actually watched a first video and they're complaining that we didn't get Pikmin 3 ported to the Switch and that Nintendo disappointed. And I'm calling them out. Those guys are not Nintendo fans. If you watch this direct and you weren't happy with anything, you don't like Nintendo. We had Mario and Sonic, which, okay, not the biggest game ever, but that's still pretty cool. I'll probably check that out. We had frickin' Luigi's Mansion, pretty in-depth look at that, a couple minutes. We'll be seeing more, they got on the show floor, Treehouse, all that, whatever. Daemon X Machina, they've, polished that up a little bit. I'm not looking really too forward to the game, but hey, we got a release date on that. They looked at Fire Emblem Three Houses. We got more on that. We got friggin' Secret of Mana, like the unreleased coming from Japan. We have a new one coming, a new Contra. They shadow released the Contra collection, 8 classic games, awesome Contra games. Those are out now. Go buy it. I'm going to be buying it. More look at Fire Emblem Three Houses. We know that that's coming out soon. They talked about Mario Maker a little bit. We already know what that is. We got Spyro coming. Like, people have been wanting that. There was rumors. It's coming. We got The Witcher 3. That was another rumor in the pipeline. A lot of people didn't really think it was true. Me, I didn't play it because I don't own a PS4, but I'm pretty stoked for that. And we're not even at, like, the top of the announcements yet. So already, that was a great presentation. We got the Panzer Dragoon remake coming, and so that looks pretty good. We got the first look at Animal Crossing, which is looking pretty... it got delayed, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But regardless, it's coming. Yeah, they've had 5 years to work on it, plus 5 years. And by the time it actually comes out, it's going to be 6.5 years since New Leaf came out, or almost 7 years since New Leaf came out in Japan. But so we got the first look at that. Looking freaking amazing. Like, it's looking amazing. Like, I'm like sick from like adrenaline rush. Like, I need to eat something. Like, you wouldn't think that high adrenaline would like suck the energy out from you and make you feel kind of shaky, like you need to replace all your carbs and eat your vegetables. But yeah, I feel kind of sick right now just from like the adrenaline rush here. I mean, look at how much stuff there is in this. Like I said, best frickin' direct of all time. I mean, we started off here with, Dragon Quest. We got all these different characters. It's kind of tough to tell, what exactly, if these are all separate characters. I mean, it seems like you pick one character and then you basically go through and select off of this, RPG menu. But they didn't just do us justice in one form or 2 forms or 3 forms. There's like 7 or 8 different characters from Dragon Quest. Like, that's amazing, and not even just one character. We'll get into that in a minute. We got more than one character. We started off with a character. We ended with a character. I mean, look. Best E3 best Nintendo Direct just ever. We got to see a little bit more of Bowser here. I wish he had a little bit more flair kind of to him coming on. I wish it was a little bit more epic. I didn't think that they were really going to do this play on Bowser, so that was kind of cool, kind of playful, kind of silly. But oh my god, it was amazing. Like I said, the best direct ever. Several minutes of looking at Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't think anybody thought we'd see anything. We, have like a release window, but not really a release date.
And on day 3, our Treehouse staff will get their hands...
We go back to Bowser. That was pretty much the end of him before seeing, the other guy. We got Netflix. I don't know if Netflix is going to end up being a thing on the Switch. It kind of seems like probably not, but this is weird that, this game has like a new series coming out on Netflix. Didn't really pump me up too much. This looks like a pretty cool tactics kind of game, though. Like, I actually like the look of and the setting of it. Then we got even more look at Link's Awakening remake, which just was amazing. I can't wait for this game. You know, I've had a couple chances to play the Game Boy one, but this is going to be great. I really like the way that it looks. A lot of people didn't like the style when they first saw it, but I think actually seeing it here a little bit more in depth, you know, there's actually like pretty good weather effects, the lighting of it. I mean, it's a little bit blurry kind of around the edges here, but it's still looking totally freaking awesome. This is a day one buy. You know, they just kept showing it, getting the music going. This direct was popping at this point. Show the end boss. They show, you know, the big bird. They show the big bird egg. You see Link going into the dungeon here. Looking freaking amazing. Link goes to eat an apple. So he actually is eating stuff in this game. Like, this just reminds me of being a kid again. I can't wait to play this. It's going to look awesome on a small screen. Look, he's eating an apple. He's fishing. This direct was... Look, he's stealing the bow. Like, I wish they had showed him walking back in. I think when he walks back in, there's going to be some kind of, like, message. And then being electrocuted, there's going to be some throwback ode to the old school version of it. You see Link go here into the basement, and this is awesome because... You know, conquer chamber dungeons to reap the reward. So basically, every dungeon part that you go through, it seems like you kind of collect the pieces here, and then you basically get to piece your own dungeon together. Like, that's freaking awesome. It just keeps going. They just keep dropping bombs over and over and over. Like, hell yeah, Nintendo. This E3, it felt kind of like a Christmas where, you know, family's down on money, and it's like, you know, hey guys, I'm not going to be getting much this year. You know, we'll make it up to you. And they've just kind of been stockpiling all this stuff. We get the Secret of Mana, you know, we got Seiken Densetsu 3, which is being remade, and that's coming out later. And then they released the Mana Collection, which I'm going to be buying and streaming later. First time outside of Japan. Pretty awesome. Right into The Witcher 3, like I said, people knew that it was coming, or they thought that it was coming, and here we are confirmed. It keeps going. More Fire Emblem 3 houses. Game looks super clean, super crisp. This part was kind of weird. I was hoping for Resident Evil, you know, Revelations 3. And I would say this is probably, this right here was probably like maybe like the worst announcement out of the entire Direct. So... really, that's still a pretty good announcement, honestly. You know, I never played either of those, but I'm going to probably check those out. I won't... They'll be overpriced. And then, we get No More Heroes 3. Travis Touchdown stepping out of a mech. That's not good enough for you guys? That's not directable material? Come on! Ninjas and mechs and samurais... backflips onto robot necks. And people are saying they're disappointed by this?
Now let's do this. Start the game.
How can you be disappointed by that? Even though I like this and I like the look of it, this to me was maybe the worst announcement. Still looks fun. Still something I'll probably play. Doesn't completely hold true to Contra, you know, with giant panda bears and that big crawling zombie set piece guy, but you know, it's still like a great game, you know, even to me, that being the worst announcement. Then we get more Daemon X Machina, which I think I was more pumped before we actually saw gameplay, but it seems like they've refined this a whole bunch, and I hope they put out another demo just so we can see like another level and see like what they've refined about it. But I think this game's going to end up being like a hit that people just sort of sleep on, and ends up just all in all just being a great game. It has this great mech fighting. Looks like it's going to have this really kind of weird story in the way you go back to your base and go through the missions and the actual progression of it. Then we get, you know, Panzer Dragoon Remake, which, like I said, I never got to play that back in the day. But I'm super stoked for this. Like I said, the adrenaline has just, like, kind of made me sick.
And Pokemon Shield.
We already know about this game. Didn't really get to see too much more. Get to see that you can bring your Grookey and your Pokeball, but you can't actually play the game with the Pokeball, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Maybe they add that later. Maybe that's something they just didn't really mention, but the joystick still works. But I guess it would make sense because it's not as easy of a game to roam through as, you know, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. So that sort of makes sense, but I'm still sticking with my prediction that I think there's going to be another type of accessory for it before the game actually comes out, or maybe after the game comes out. You would think by now they would have revealed it, but I definitely think we're going to be seeing another Pokemon Direct. And I think it's the same for Luigi's Mansion and Animal Crossing. We're going to get more directs down the line. Probably in like August or September, we'll have another direct, and it'll be talking about Luigi's Mansion. It might be a full breakdown of that, but it might also have, you know, several other games for the upcoming holiday season. We get to see more of Astral Chain here. This game, I don't know exactly how to feel about it, but it's just a game that I don't really care about seeing it and the hype behind it. It's like, I'm just going to kind of ignore it until it comes out, and I'm going to get the cartridge and I'm going to put it in, and then I'm going to play it, and I'm hoping that it's going to be pretty insane and just be one of those types of games where you don't want anything about it. You just give me the game and I'll play it and I'll see for myself. And they just kept dropping just bomb after bomb after bomb. This game looks pretty cool. I love the old school, you know, Tommy gun gangsters, you know, 1920s, 1930s look, classic looking drum set with the top hat and these coats, you know. You got to put Joe Pesci in a game like this. And I'm guessing this is some sort of new IP, Romero Games, Paradox. I don't really know exactly who that is. I've heard of them before. You know, we saw more Avengers, like, or Ultimate Alliance. I mean, Avengers was yesterday with the... We're just getting so many announcements. Here we got, you know, Cadence of Hyrule, Legend of Zelda. It's coming out on Friday, so a couple days from now. Not too bad, not too bad. Mario and Sonic at the friggin' Olympics. Those are alright games. You know, these games are alright. Look, Mario surfing, Sonic surfing. I mean, what else do we have? What else could you ask for? Yoshi on a skateboard? He's grinding. Sonic and Knuckles and frickin' Yoshi are grinding in a pool for the frickin' Olympics. Like, I don't know if that 8-bit style is going to be a thing, but that just looks cool. Yoshi's doing a 900. Yoshi Hawk. Tony Hawk's Yoshi 900. Boxing with Tails, I'll knock the hell out of him. That classic looking style, I don't know if that's going to be a thing or if that's just the trailer, but how... Such a great direct. One of the best... I think it's the best direct of all time. People are still stuck on the 2017 where we got Breath of the Wild and Odyssey because it was a new system. It had just come out, and I don't know what people are expecting. People just think people want... I don't know what people want out of the Switch. Like Nintendo here, they've dropped bomb after bomb, and that's not good enough for some people. I don't understand how you can be a Nintendo fan when you get Luigi's Mansion, you get a Mario and Sonic Olympics, you get Animal Crossing, you get Astral Chain, you get games that have never released like Secret of Mana coming out of Japan for the first time ever. And people want ports of like Pikmin 3. Like, that's a game that's already been played. Everybody complained and begged for new games to come out on the Nintendo Switch. And now we finally have new games on the Switch. And people are complaining that they're not brand new, that these weren't bombshells of games that we've already seen. But going into E3, like, we knew what titles we were going to be seeing stuff about. Just because we saw 30 seconds of Luigi's Mansion a couple months ago, now all of a sudden we see 3 minutes of it, and people are over it. It's like this hype cycle of the Switch where by the time the game actually releases, people don't want to play it. They just kind of play it for 10 or 15 minutes, and then the Switch is over here getting dusty while they're watching the next thing, reading the new article, reading the new leak, and they don't even enjoy what ends up coming out. They just want new announcements, but they don't want to actually play the game. And then they call this direct disappointing. Then they just did the sizzle reel here where they just blasted Wolfenstein and Doom's coming out and this mobile game, whatever, but My Friend Pedro and this new Minecraft game, and we got Spyro coming, and we got Just Dance 2020, dance with your Wii. And some of these other games, I mean, and then we finally get Banjo and Kazooie. People have been asking for Banjo Kazooie and Smash for what, 9 years? 10 years? 11 years? And he's finally here, and you got some of these giant channels saying that this was disappointing. There's people that think that this announcement is okay, but it's overall just a disappointment. What more could Nintendo do other than say that Breath of the Wild 2 is out today, download it right now, to like win E3? Between Square and Nintendo, they slaughtered. Ubisoft and Bethesda only have mobile games, and we got Banjo-Kazooie in Smash along with Dragon Quest, and who else knows what other characters are going to be in the game? People wanted the game before the game came out. Now the game comes out. People wanted Banjo in Smash before he was in Smash. That's all they could complain about. Now that we've seen it, it's like, that's old news. And by the time he even comes out, people will play him for like 6 minutes and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, where's the new Banjo game? And then they think that Rare from, 20 plus years ago are the same people that made those games. And they think that if there was a new Banjo game, it would be just as good, when it wouldn't. It would be cool. It'd be cool to see. It could be great, but it'd more than likely just be an alright game. It'd be like a C-tier game. We got one more thing to show you, like Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's going to be called Ganon's Return, or it's like a side story where, yeah, people are, now complaining already about, that this game, it's going to be basically the same game. It's Breath of the Wild. Everything's going to look the same. It's going to be the same world map, but you see here, like, they're going to change things. There's going to be a story twist. There's going to be a time shift. There's going to be a plot twist. The Hyrule Castle is like lifting up out of the earth, and you're either going under it into hell, or Ganon comes back and like burns everything down, and it's going to be like black, like Breath of the Wild black, where it's just going to be covered in goop and just sorrow and death, and you're going to have to come back, and like save all of Hyrule once again. It's going to be amazing. After all this is said and done, what do you guys think? Did you like the Direct? Was it the best? Or are you a lame-o and you liked Ubisoft's presentation more than Nintendo? Are you disappointed? What games did you not want to see? What games did you hope to see that weren't here? I'm freaking out a little bit, and that's alright. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Let me know that Nintendo's E3 just destroyed everybody else. It's over. That's it. It's done. Like, choke slam through the table. I'm out of here. Hit the subscribe button, click that thumbs up, and smash the bell button. I'll see you guys later.